This problem can be a little confusing at first when you look at it and you don't really know what to do because you don't know what the terms are of the sequence that we're talking about. It's a list of numbers, but who knows what the first term is? Who knows what the second term is? All we know, and this is important, is that the sequence is arithmetic. Well, what does that mean? That means there's the same difference between terms. So maybe your terms are 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on, right? That plus 2 every time. Or maybe it's something completely different. But here's the way I'm going to write it because I don't know anything else. I'm going to write this. That's my first term, okay? And this is my second term. See what's different? I just added d to it. And here's my third term. And now I'm adding 2d to the first term. You can think of these like hops. Okay, and by the time I get to the fourth term, I have to add 3d, where d is simply, I'll write it this way, d is simply the amount that you're jumping each time you go between terms. Okay, so it's like plus d, plus d, plus d. So this is the way I like to think of this arithmetic sequence. Now it says something else that's important. It says the sum of the first 4 terms of the sequence is equal to 2 times the value of the first term. Well, that's kind of complicated sounding, but it's an equation. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this. A1 plus A1 plus D, that's the second term, plus A1 plus 2D, that's the third term, plus A1 plus 3D, that's the fourth term, equals, and here's the last part of that sentence, 2 times the value of the first term. So 2 times A1. That's our equation. Now let's just see what we can do to clean this up. If you combine like terms, you're going to get 4A1 plus 6D on the left and 2A1 on the right, which becomes 6D equals negative 2A1 when you subtract. And then it becomes negative 3D equals A1. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting, but it still doesn't tell me what D is, right? It doesn't tell me something really important. It doesn't tell me what A1 is, but I have something, one last thing that we haven't talked about. We know that there's a negative integer common difference. In other words, whatever D is, it has to be a negative number. So let's make some options here. These are guesses, mind you. Here's D, and here's A1. So the first negative integer difference that I might guess is negative 1. And then I might guess negative 2. And then I might guess negative 3. These are all good guesses for D because they're all negative integers. And then using my formula over here, let's plug those D values in and see what A is. So maybe A1 is 3, maybe A1 is 6, maybe A1 is 9. But you can see the trend here. A1 must be a positive multiple of 3. That's the way you approach this problem. It is very tricky, but you have to go through this these instructions right here, where you take a look at this sentence and try to turn that into an equation. That's the key to this problem.